Well, we're kind of filling up here. We're going to give it a few more minutes. So good to see everybody dropping in.
Hey, y'all.
Aaron, hey, good to see you, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
We have some folks from OAC, Barbara Bernier and Gerardo is with us.
Good.
So, Bryan, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
I see Joella Phillips is here, Deidre, Rhiannon. For those of you who don't know, Rhiannon has joined the steering committee of DACAC, so we're thrilled to have her.
Oh, good.
Hi, Robin. You're muted. Still muted. There you go.
Unmute. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Robin.
Good to see you. How's everybody at Dallas Children's Theater?
Oh, well, you know, trying to figure out how in the world we can start up, if we can ever start up.
Yep. We're all wondering about that. So, I see David Fisher's with us and Mary Beth, good to see you.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel like we're at that moment in Wizard of Oz when Glinda is talking to the Munchkins to come out. I really feel like that's how we're approaching right now.
Well, thanks for the mirth that brings to us.
Just don't expect us to sing in those little squeaky high voices.
I think in 10, 20 years, when they're looking back at, the phrases of a decade or what each decade stood for, 2021 will have "you're muted" as the phrase of the year.
Followed by "I'm not a cat."
Hey, Pam, good to see you.
Hi, Pam. You're muted.
muted.
You're muted.
Whoop, whoop. Hello, everybody. Long time no see. How are you all doing?
Indeed. How are you?
Good.
Surviving? Doing
Hi, Pam.
Hello.
Oh, Hector's put something in chat. There's an OAC rushed alert. So you may want to check that out real quick.
You all sign up for that e-blast. It's just a very small group of artists and organizations, and it's also good for your volunteers and board members, etc. But you can get great seats to a show, and it's anywhere from $15, $20, $25, where sometimes the price is double or triple that. So sign up for that, and you'll get an e-blast when those are approved.
Okay.
Well, why don't we get started? Hopefully we'll have some more folks joining us. So Hannah's going to put our agenda up on the screen, and I'm going to try very hard to get us all out of here by 5.
Okay.
I also dropped the agenda, just the bullet points in the chat.
Oh, thanks, Tino. While she's getting that up, I'll give you a quick update. We will have a meeting in April. It's the last Wednesday. It'll be the 28th at 4 p.m.
Oh, okay.
And we don't have dates yet for the brown bag, excuse me, the brown bag lunches. But we've got a couple of topics, and at the end, excuse me, at the end of the meeting, we'll have a quick discussion. But a couple of topics have been suggested that we could have either as roundtables or as actual actual panel presentation. One of those, and this was something Charles Santos brought to my attention. Don't know if any of you have ever heard of having your websites being ADA compliant. This is something new, apparently. So I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it might be something we should explore in a brown bag roundtable and just learn more about it and see what we would need to do to make sure that we have ADA compliant websites. So that's one topic. And then the other one that's been suggested is the idea of crypto art using non-fungible tokens. Verdigris Ensemble just did a unique performance that they did using non-fungible tokens. And don't know how that turned out, but I'm sure we could get Sam to come and talk to us about it. And it, requires cryptocurrency. It's, it's kind of like the latest new innovation and wrinkle in how to get your product out in front of people. I think it's been more in the visual arts area, but so it's kind of a digital art thing, but that could be something we could look into. Maybe get Cole Davis back to talk about it. It's all based on blockchain. That's something he's working on. So anyway, those are the two ideas. We can do both of them. We just can't do them both at the same time. So we'll talk about it more at the end of the meeting. Yes.
Apparently, it is also going for tweets. Certain individuals' first tweets have been selling too.
Oh boy. Well, we wouldn't want to miss out on that. So, okay, so we'll talk more about that at the end. And then the other big thing coming up, of course, is Arts Advocacy Day, and that's later on the agenda. But the first thing we want to do, we started this at our last meeting. It was a great idea that Tino had, and that's a member spotlight. So we have 3 members we're going to spotlight here very quickly, and just ask them to tell us a little bit about themselves and their organization. So we have Loris Anthony Beckles, Beckles Dancing Company. Tino, do you want to kind of introduce our member spotlight people?
Yes, I think a lot of folks know Loris Beckles and also Beckles Dancing Company. One thing that I want to brag about Loris and his company is back when we were doing the Arts Vote Dallas initiative back in 2019, his company, along with Charles Santos and Chris Heimbaugh and some others, they were the first to say yes and to say, we will hand out stickers, we will tell people to take the pledge. So I really, really appreciated him offering up his whole company to do this for us. So Loris, take it away. Is he talking and I can't hear him?
Now you can hear. No, don't say it. Well, I'm glad. I'm happy to do whatever we can do to keep us all alive and thriving and visible. What I would like to say is not our mission or our vision, but something that we also have in our brochure that I particularly like. And is that Beckles Dancing Company celebrates the glory of dance. We exult by dancing. We develop on and refine human movement. We speak without words, using the body as an instrument of communication and reflect the natural beauty we see. We combine forms to reach you through an exhilarating mix. In works that span the gamut from light to dark, from reverential to irreverent, we touch the spirit and renew the soul. So that's us. We are now in our 26th year. We're dancing at Planet on April 10th, and then we're going to Irving on the 16th and 17th of April. So we'll be a part of Arts Month. Unfortunately, our performances cannot be at the Cultural Center, but that's life, pandemic life, but we're here. And I appreciate being here and thank you very much. Yeah.
Absolutely, thank you. The next person that we're going to hear from is Joella Phillips. And Joella Phillips is a new member as of October of last year, I believe. And back when we were doing the Dallas Digithon, Joella Phillips actually reached out and volunteered. And I thought she was going to do some dance, but she had second thoughts, and she volunteered to be a host on Sunday morning for several hours of the Dallas Digithon. And she quickly, you know, has been a supporter of the arts for a long time. She's been an advocate with us since October. And I believe she's also done some work with other arts organizations. So I'll let her fill in some more about herself. Joella?
Hi, everyone. Sorry, the video screen's not on. Sometimes when you log into different devices, my photo for my account will pop up, and sometimes it won't. But I'm in the car headed to NSN because I just left a funeral today. But good afternoon, and I thank you for spotlighting me on today's general meeting. My name is Joella Phillip from Pleasant Grove, for those of y'all who don't know me personally. I was first introduced to the Dallas Area Cultural Advocacy Coalition through Beckles, and then became a member during the 24-hour Dallas when it kicked off by the connection with yours truly, Tino. My interest with the arts is health and wellness, lighting, set design, and bridging the gap for commercial industry auditions throughout the DFW Metroplex. As we all know, National Literacy Month was in November. However, as a community, we can still host a series of book discussions this summer. And I would like to start a series with book discussions with Lorianne Gibson's Dance Your Dance, 8 Steps to Unleash Your Passion, and Live Your Dreams Falling with Misty Copeland's Life in Motion and Unlikely Ballerina. And if any of y'all have any other book suggestions for like monthly things, those are all welcomed and encouraged. The reason why I think we should start with Lorianne Gibson's for the 8 Steps to Unleash Your Passion and Live Your Dreams is because during the summer, everyone likes to lose weight, and that's the fitness part of everything. So it's making sure that we don't have mental fatigue through all the Zoom calls that we've been doing over the COVID pandemic and all of that.
Okay. Cool.
Excellent. Thank you, Joella.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us formally. The other person who is going to be spotlighted is Bryan Tony, and I actually met him throughout the community when he was doing work for the TREC, Texas Real Estate Company, but then also met him through Junior Players, where he's been a long-term board member. So I'm going to let Bryan tell you more about himself.
Thanks, Tino. I appreciate it. I think my arts journey began in high school. I'm the product of Hurst Bedford ISD, which has an extremely high quality arts programming. And even though I played football, a lot of our fans, especially at halftime, would leave after the marching band played. And a lot of my friends, you know, to this day were in band, and I'm still in touch with them. And so I saw how, you know, the arts really shaped well-rounded and creative people and thinkers. I even took a couple dance classes when I was in college at TCU, a dance and world cultures class in hip hop. But for the most part, I try and strive to be as much of an arts advocate myself. As Tina mentioned, I moved to Dallas shortly after graduation, have worked for both the Chamber and the Real Estate Council, and gotten involved with Junior Players, arts education, nonprofit, of course, started as a auction committee member, and then moved on to help launch their Young Professionals Committee. And after that, I'm now a full-fledged board member. So as a part of 24-hour Dallas too, I've been advocating for a more robust and inclusive, safer nighttime economy like we experience elsewhere in the world. Would love to bring that here to Dallas, and have done some work organizing our restaurants and small concert venues and bars to get some financial relief from the city of Dallas during COVID. I've been a DACAC member since last fall, as I've been exploring new ways to continue making an impact here, and enjoyed joining some of y'all during the last Texans for the Arts Advocacy Days, virtually, of course. Would love to learn more about our Dallas Arts Advocacy Day and staying involved moving forward. Thank you for the opportunity, Tina.
Of course. Thank you all. Thanks, Loris, Joella. Thank you, Bryan. And don't forget, for everybody who wants to participate, Americans for the Arts is doing the National Arts Initiative coming up next week, and there's still time to register. And it's free this time.
Thank you. Thank you, Tino, and thank you, Brian, Joella, and Loris. So moving on, the next thing we're going to talk about is the Dallas Arts Advocacy Day on April 20th. I know I've spoken about this before. It's from noon to 1:30. And we were afraid we weren't going to get to do it again this year, but we have figured out a way to do it outdoors. So we now have it all put together, and so we'll be sending this out and posting this up on our website, but this is the information. So it is $35. That includes your box lunch. We do have a vegetarian option, and those will be available. Those tickets are available from Ticket DFW, although I don't think they're on sale yet. We're hoping within the next day or so, they'll have that all set up. But we do have the link, so that is on this page. So we will have a performance with Olampaksky Ballet Folklorico, and that's a new element to Dallas Arts Advocacy Day. We've not been able to do that in the past. We've just been too limited in terms of the size of the room. And but something we always do is an artist statement. We find an artist here in Dallas of any discipline. I think we've covered almost all of them now at this point. So this year it will be Jonathan Norton, who is a playwright. He is the playwright in residence at the Dallas Theater Center, but has a very long resume of accomplishments. So we very much look forward to what he has to say. And then another fairly new thing that we've done for the past couple of years is to present the Jack Alder Advocacy Award, named obviously for the wonderful late Jack Alder, founder of Theater 3, and someone that I know we all knew, loved, and miss. And we'll be giving that award this year to Ann Williams, who founded and was the longtime artistic director of Dallas Black Dance Theater. I believe she is still the artistic director emeritus, but I know all of you know Ann and her amazing work and her amazing legacy. So we're really proud that she'll be with us to accept the Jack Alder Advocacy Award. Jennifer Scripps will be giving us an outlook for the Office of Arts and Culture for 2021-2022. We know that once again, the city is facing pretty stiff financial headwinds, and so we're hoping that the OAC is not impacted too badly, but hopefully by April, she'll have a fairly good idea of where things are headed, and then also can talk about maybe some new programs and things that they're cooking up over there at OAC. And then the main event will be a panel discussion, which we're calling Emergence, Dallas Arts After COVID-19. We have 4 really great panelists. Terry Loftus, who I think you all know as the President and Executive Director of TACA. He'll give us an overview of kind of where from the fundraiser's perspective of where funding and resources are likely to be over the next year to 2 years. Give us his insight and outlook on funding, across all of the arts. Dr. John Carlo, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Prism Health North Texas, and has been helping a number of the groups here with their COVID protocols, will be giving us, his ideas, suggestions, and insights on how we can reopen safely as soon as that is possible for us. And kind of what we can expect in terms of protocols and safety measures that we should consider having ready to go for whenever we're able to start up our productions again. Sara Cardona, and I think you all know Sara as the Executive Director of Teatro Dallas, but she's also a really amazing visual artist. And so she'll be discussing the challenges that are faced by ethnic arts organizations or Lana artists as they are also trying to rebuild their organizations, their careers post-COVID. And then finally, Craig Davis, the CEO of Visit Dallas, will be with us. We know that the arts are going to be an absolutely integral part of the economic recovery for the city of Dallas, given that so many restaurants have closed, a lot of retail has closed. There's a lot of activities that probably will not be as safe as they once were, at least for some time to come. So they need something to sell. And Craig Davis has been very outspoken about the fact that the arts are going to be a very critical thing in terms of bringing tourists back and bringing visitors back. And so we want to hear more about what that's going to look like and what his ideas are So we think it's going to be a very good and informative discussion. So it will be outside in front of the Windspear Opera House in Salmons Park underneath the canopy. Registration tickets available at Tickets DFW, $35. We want to really give thanks to Wolfgang Puck Catering. They've really worked hard to accommodate us on this. Obviously, this is not the usual kind of event that the happens at the Windspear Opera House. So we're really grateful to them. We're also grateful to AdPac for hosting this. So we want you all to be there. And as soon as those tickets go on sale, we'll give you a shout out, and just hope to see you all there. And if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take those or try and answer them as best I can.
One thing, just want to clarify, it's ticketdfw.org, singular on the ticket there.
Oh, okay.
Down there, but just that's where to purchase them. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. We'll fix that.
As soon as this is live, the site is live, we'll send out a special email to all of our database with this in.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, well, let's move on then to our next agenda item. We have several people here with us from the Office of Arts and Culture, and they have some wonderful opportunities. They have some call for artists for a couple of things this summer. So I asked them to come and tell a little bit more about that. And even if it's not something that applies directly to you, I'm sure you know an artist or a group that might qualify. So Gerardo, were you going to talk a little bit more about these?
Hi, yeah. Thank you, Joanna, for having us, first of all. I'm really excited about sharing our open call information. I can't speak so much for the summer camp proposals. I think I'll leave that to David or Barbie, but I could speak towards the Reimagine Vacancy, which is the open call right below down there. So this is an exciting project that Community Arts, which is what Rhonda and I represent, working in conjunction with Code Compliance. Late last year, we received a GARE grant, which stands for the Government Alliance for Racial Equity. And so what we're looking at doing with this grant is targeting specific neighborhoods where we could abate vacant lots that are targeted points for illegal dumping, and creating a community space for the community to use. And so we narrowed it down to the Bonton neighborhood as our first pilot program. So if all goes well, we could hopefully continue to do this program again within this year, if not next year for sure. But what we're looking for particular in this particular open call is we're looking for a visual artist or any type of artist actually who is able to create a freestanding temporary installation. The time frame that we're looking at for this piece to last in these lots is 6 months. It can be, and the award amount, forgive me, the award amount for this prize is $10,000, and that'll cover the design, the fabrication, the installation, and the removal of the artwork. So essentially, we're looking for an artist to create a piece that ties into the community. So if I could share the web link to our open calls website, but on there it'll provide you some information, a brief information about the neighborhood itself, along with some videos and some feedback that we got from working with community partners within the Bonton neighborhood. And I guess the last thing you should know is that April 12th is the last day that the application will be open. The deadline is April 12th at 11:59 p.m. And again, this is our first time going through this whole process as well. So we're completely open to any kind of questions you may have. Rhonda and I can make ourselves available towards that. Yeah, so we're just excited. So please, if you know of any visual artists or if your organizations would be interested in maybe applying, please feel free to reach out to us. But I'll hand it over to David and Barbie now.
Hey all, I'll talk about summer camps. At the cultural centers, we often do calls for proposals for our annual programming, and we're using the same process for summer camp programming to just cast a wide net to artists or organizations who may have socially distanced in person or virtual programming that could be hosted at any one of the 4 cultural centers, or all 4, or a combination thereof. So that you can get information at that link that we put in the chat, and we've published this on our website and social media outlets. Just basically trying to get some new ideas and some new artists and organizations, and really push them to think differently about how to serve our youth over the summer.
Great, thank you, David. Thank you, Gerardo. And Tino has put the links to both programs in the chat if anyone wants to check those out. And you can also, I'm sure, find this information on the OAC website. So,
Joanna?
Yes?
I just wanted to mention something, the Reimagine Vacancy. I think a lot of you are aware that every year we spend a lot of time briefing council candidates for city council about issues, about the arts budget, all sorts of different things. But one of the things on our agenda is to try and encourage the city to do more things, especially in other departments such as code and housing and things like that, how to use the arts as part of a solution. And this is, the Reimagine Vacancy is an absolutely tremendous way that you can use the arts in neighborhoods, in community, to turn around and deal with things like blight. And we see that with graffiti. We see that with a whole bunch of things. And we all know that those are, that art can be a solution to a lot of challenges facing our community. And this is a wonderful example. So kind of as you're going along, if you come across your cultural affairs commissioner or come across your council member, let them know that these are the kind of programs that really can make a difference in our community, and why arts is more than just a luxury in the budget, luxury item in the budget. It's an essential part of both our economy, but also our communities. So I just would encourage you to really talk that up with your council members and your commissioners. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, and so the next thing we want to talk about is Dallas Arts Month. And Barbie Bernier is here from OAC to tell us more about where things stand. And we put the calendar up on the screen so you can see that we actually have a pretty full month of activities. And so Barbie will let us know some of the primary ones that we all need to make sure that we have on our calendars. So let's, Barbie, I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you, Joanna. And Chris, that was beautifully said. So thank you for sharing that about Reimagine Vacancy. I agree. So thank you. Dallas Arts Month. So usually we have our launch day, which would have been today, with a big old press launch and performances. Obviously, it's a little different this year because of COVID, and that is kind of a statement that applies to the whole calendar. It's a blend of virtual programming and in-person socially distanced programming. This week we did have the press release go out, and today we did share the sizzle reel video on the Dallas Arts Month Facebook. I also have it on our OAC webpage as well. And actually, if anyone would like some of these creative assets for their socials, I can definitely send those your way as well, if you would like to upload rather than just reshare what's on social media. So please let me know. But we actually have a good amount of events on the calendar, and we were worried about that early on, but the next upcoming events, Art Heist with AT&T Performing Arts Center, that opened on Tuesday, and I think today is the last preview, if not tomorrow. And then that'll be running up until the 18th, I believe. Oh yeah, that's on the calendar, perfect. That closes on the 18th. So that's the first week is gonna be the gallery talks on the 7th floor with the Dealey Museum, and then Art 214, which is been part of Arts Month for a while now, but that's the exhibition that takes place at all the cultural centers, and they have a hybrid exhibition. So they do have a virtual version of Art 214, but they will have in-person social distance appointment only ways for you guys to view this in person. So that's really exciting as well. I'm really happy. This is a slow opening of the cultural centers, the cultural venues, and I'm really excited for us to continue to find these slowly reopening and creative ways that we're going to keep pushing out art for the Dallas community. And then on the 8th, we have the Tida Santa Salon series. That's Dallas as an arts hub. It's going to be with Lily Weiss and Jennifer Scripps. So I'm looking forward to that as well. We have a couple of smaller organizations on this calendar as well, with Soltan, which is Teatro Dallas and Cara Mia, and Mi Almost Tale with the Bishop Arts Theater Center. And then we also have Dance Planet 24, that's at the Annette Strauss Square. And then we have some more of our key events, the Changing Perspectives Block Party, which will be a little different this year, Arts Advocacy Day, which Joanna has already talked about, a few festivals, and then some new events, which had added those here as well. So if you would like more details on the CAP showcases, we're really excited for those. Those are new and through the Community Arts Pop-Up Cultural Center as well. One is a full weekend, and that's going to be the 16th through the 18th at Fair Park. And the CAP program is the Community Artist Program of the Office of Arts and Culture. And that's a roster of artists from the community, and they will be showcasing their talents. So that's exactly what that Community Artist Program, CAP Artist Showcases. And then we have the one at Annette Strauss Square on the 25th. And then another OAC event that we have is the Creative Conversation, which will be virtual this year. And the theme is Arts and Justice, which calls back to what we were saying at the beginning, or what Chris was saying at the beginning, how arts is a resource and how can we work with different areas of the city of Dallas, but of life really, and really bring these important resources into the community to bring some sort of justice to these underserved communities, and what that really means and what that looks like. So I'm really excited for the panel for that as well, because we have a diverse panel in terms of different sections of, like we have, let me actually pull up the panelists, because I do want to do them justice when I say where everyone's from, but we have Byron Sanders from Big Thought, CEO of Big Thought. We have Dr. Christine Drennan, the professor of sociology and anthropology at Trinity Universe. Corrine Rice, she's the program director for Junior Players. Sydney Freeman, she's the director of real estate development for Designing Justice, Designing Spaces. And then DA John Clouseau, Dallas County Criminal District Attorney. So a very diverse panel. I'm really excited to see what that will be like. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And Barbie, how will people access I know it's a virtual event, but how will they access it? Is that a ticket? Is that ticket DFW also?
For Creative Conversation?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so if you go to www.dallasartsmonth.com, it does have the links for all of these events. You can click on them and they'll take you to where you need to go. But yes, Creative Conversation is going to be ticket DFW. You can RSVP there and you will get a link for the Zoom meeting. It will be a virtual Zoom room that will eventually premiere later on. We haven't really discussed when it will premiere for everybody because it's not going to be streamed live. It's going to premiere later on. I don't know if that makes sense. But.
Hey, Barbara.
Yes.
Do you think on the Dallas Arts Month website, you can put your socials? I couldn't find them. I had to look them up individually.
Oh, thank you for calling that out. Thank you.
And there's only 3, right? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
No, actually. So we're not using the Instagram or the Twitter this year. So
okay.
It's just Facebook.
Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, and in our last email that we sent out, in the dates that were coming up, we do have, that's an actual link to the Creative Conversation to sign up for tickets.
Yeah, it's on DallasArtsMonth.com and the link is live now. And that happened earlier this week, so, or maybe end of last week. But one thing I do want to mention is if you know of organizations having, that have happenings this April, please send them my way. And we have a list of highlighted events we're definitely looking for free citywide focus, any kind of cultural special events for April. And if someone has them and they kind of fit into that, please send them or send their information my way, and I can add that event to that special highlighted events section of the website. So that it's not just the Art and Seek calendar, because the Art and Seek calendar is on the main page. It pulls everything happening in April. So it's a really big calendar. So we do want to kind of give special attention to events where we can.
I know this may come as a shock to most of you, but some of us have never bought into Facebook. So how do we get to attend any of these things without joining Facebook? Hector, what's going on?
I agree. That's a huge thing. And so that's why for Creative Conversations, we decided to do a Zoom event and have the video premiere on Facebook, but also live on our website. And that's what we're talking about, just because, at least for our events, like moving away from just Facebook, it is an amazing and wonderful resource, but I agree, not everybody has that. And how can we keep including more and more people? Has kind of just been my lens as the communications coordinator for OAC. So we will have that video premiere once we record the panel discussion and have that go out on our website.
Thank you.
But we can participate that day through Zoom, correct?
Yeah, so if you want to participate in the moment that day through Zoom, and that will include a live like Q&A. If you would like to participate in that sense and watch it right then and there, yes, it will be through Zoom. You will receive a Zoom link.
Okay, and it's free.
And we'll share that. I'm glad that Linda said that, because I will share with you the attendee link for the Thursday, the salon talk.
Right.
Otherwise, that's Facebook only.
Right. That's the one I'm concerned about the most.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments about Arts Month or about the calendar?
One more thing, actually, for myself, I did include some of the social posts, and I will keep adding in the About section of the Dallas Arts Month. There's like a place for you to download the logo. There's also going to be a place for graphics, and there is currently an English and Spanish flyer in graphic form, in PNG format, on the website. So you can just pull from there if you would like to share on your social media or download a copy and send it out via email. So just keep an eye on that. I am adding a little more to it, but right now we do have both the bilingual flyers on the website as well for anybody to use.
Great. So thanks so much, Barbie. We really appreciate it. I know you've been working really hard on this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So, okay, the last thing on the agenda is kind of an election outlook. We've put up here on the screen the pertinent dates. Obviously, a couple of them already passed. Thursday, tomorrow, is the last day to register to vote. So hopefully everyone that's in this meeting has registered to vote. The 19th of April is the first day of early voting, 27th last day. The election's actually May 1st. There will undoubtedly be a number of runoff elections. So that's June 5th, and then the inauguration is planned June 14th. And I'm assuming the inauguration this year will be virtual. We do have 57 candidates. We have talked to about half of them so far, and I have to say that we've been very encouraged by the response. Oh, this is the old list. Sorry, here's the new one, yes. So this is the list of the candidates. You know, so we have obviously some incumbents, and then we have quite a few. But there's not a single one that's not contested. Every single district has at least 2 candidates running. So we're encouraged with the conversations we've been having. So far, all the candidates have been very supportive, have been even enthusiastic in most cases. So we're pleased about that. And I I have to say, I think the credit goes to all the advocacy that you all do all the time, especially through the most recent Arts Vote Dallas effort that we did in the last election. It seems that we have, made an impression, and people are understanding just how important the arts are to the economy and to the quality of life, to the citizens. I think also the new cultural plan, I guess it's not so new anymore, but I think that also has really resonated with the citizens and obviously with council candidates. So if you can attend a forum, we're going to try and get that information out. We don't know about all of them necessarily, but we'd like to get arts people there so that we can do something called arts dogging, which is asking questions of the candidates about how they plan to support the arts or what their involvement in the arts has been. What kinds of arts things would they want to see in their district? Just real basic questions. We're not out to do any gotcha kind of questions. We just want to make sure that it's on the radar of, regardless of the focus of the forum. It could be the real estate council. It could be, it could be the breakfast group, the Dallas Breakfast Group. It could be the chamber. Whatever the focus is, we just want to make sure the arts at least get a little bit of recognition from the forum panelists. So I don't know, Chris, do you have anything you want to add at this point about where we're at with the election? Did we lose Chris?
I don't think he's on.
Okay, all right. We have also sent them a survey, and but they're slow getting it back, but they have till April 9th. So we are slowly posting the surveys as we get them in. We sent out another email very recently, or I think Chris did, just reminding them that we want to get those surveys back. And they've pretty much, they've said, yes, we're working on it. We've got a lot of surveys. We're trying to get them in. And so as we have those, we will post those, and we really encourage you to go look at those where you can see for yourself how the candidates are responding to the questions. There's 7 questions, but the first 2 are your name and the district you're running in. So it's a pretty simple, straightforward survey. It's not real long. So really encourage you to go look at those.
Joanna, we haven't posted those online yet because I was waiting to get some in, and so
okay.
We've got about 5, so they will be up by the end of the week.
Okay, great. Thanks, Tino. Yeah, as I said, they're slow coming in, but anyway, it's really the best way to know kind of what their thinking is, and if they have any specific issues in their district that they want to be addressed. This is good information for us to have as we're thinking about projects, presentations, performances, etc., that we would want to see go out into the community. So, just make sure that you're getting out to vote. Make sure that you're encouraging your board members, your colleagues, your friends, your family. I think we all know Dallas has a ridiculously low voter turnout, especially for the municipal elections. And we did improve slightly in the last one. We went from 6% to 7% of eligible voters in the last one, but it's still abysmally low. And we have council district races in the past that have been settled by as less than 50 votes. And so that's kind of scary when you think about that we're not getting the representation always that we would hope to have just because people aren't voting. So can't stress enough to make sure that we're doing what we can to encourage everyone to vote. So does anyone have any questions, comments?
Joanna, we had a garage sale over the weekend, safe, social distance. I found a bag of arts buttons. So if anybody wants to swing by and pick one up, let me know.
Okay, thanks, Tino.
I didn't sell them.
Okay, we'll obviously have buttons at Arts Advocacy Day as well. So anyway, any comments, questions on the election? We'll definitely keep you posted, and once we know, if we know about forums, we'll let you know. And they'll be virtual this year, so it's much easier to attend these than it has in the past. Particularly if you live in a district, you know, if you live in a particular district, if there's a forum involving the candidates in that district, they respond more to people who actually live in their district. Okay, well, that's probably enough then on elections at this point. So I guess the last thing is just to get back to the brown bag lunch question, and see where, you know, are people interested in either or both of those topics? That would be the ADA website issue, and also looking at the digital arts non-fungible token concept.
Honestly, I think the ADA website issue is a 15-minute conversation. It's not that big of a deal, although the guidelines say that if you have an affiliation with a federal organization, then you have to be ADA compliant, which is, we probably all do because of the NEA and TCA and OAC. But I don't know, we could fill up a whole lunch with it.
Well, we could probably add some other aspects related to websites and you know, other aspects of how we interface with the public now virtually.
Definitely.
I want David's cat to meet Jeff's cat.
Oh.
He's feeling needy today.
Mine just loves Zoom calls.
Okay,
What was the second topic again? I could also throw up a poll real quick.
It was the non-fungible tokens, the digital art, cryptocurrency thing. Verdigrease just did a sort of an experiment with that. And there's, you know, it's been in the news a lot, and there's people making a ton of cryptocurrency dollars doing it. But it, you know, it might be worth having everybody.
Well, just for fun, I put a poll up just so we can get an idea if anyone's not able to speak real quick, and we can share what at least everyone here today is feeling like is most interested. So go ahead and take that quick poll and we can share the results.
I picked crypto because I honestly don't understand it. So
I think we could actually combine these two and do like 20 minutes on website and 20 minutes on this, and just kind of dip our toes into it, so that we get just some foundational information.
We could try that, yeah, because to Charles's point, the ADA compliance on websites may not take all that much time. So we can try it. It might just end up being like an hour and a half, you know, round table or regular brown bag lunch. So we'll try. It's just going to and the date will depend on when I can get the folks that might be presenting to land on a date. So sometime in the later part of April will be likely for that. So okay. we will try to pull that together.
Joanna,
yeah.
Sorry, not to, but usually we don't have a general meeting in April because of arts advocacy. But now we're going to have arts advocacy general meeting and a brown bag. Maybe we can move the brown bag to May.
Yeah, we could do that.
Give us more time to work on the contents.
Yeah, that's a good idea because it's a lot to get done. And just sometimes it can be hard to find a time and date that work for everybody. So, you know, particularly for the cryptocurrency, non-fungible token digital art thing, that may be a little more complicated to pull together. So good suggestion. So we will try to do that. We'll get that set up for May. So does anyone else have an announcement or a comment or important news that needs to be shared with everybody before we finish?
I just want to encourage everybody to really get on Dallas Arts Month, however you can, to just push it out, tag, like, share, comment, because we really want people to know that it's going on. So.
Okay, well, if there is nothing else, I guess we are done and you're free to get on with your evening.
Other stuff.
Thank you, Joanna.
Hey, thank
Thank
you.
you. Enjoy your adult beverages.
Take care all.
Thank you.
Bye.